welcome IGCSE students. We're going to do a quick video today on percentages. I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about the percentage of a quantity and how to find that. I'm going to talk about making one quantity a percentage of another quantity. And then finally I'm going to talk about percentage increase and decrease. So let's get into it. First of all, percentage of a quantity. Well, when we're doing percentage of a quantity, there are a number of ways that we can do it. I've got, first of all, 90% of $20. Now we know 90% is 90 over 100, so I could do 90 over 100 times 20. Like that. And then I could do some rearrangement like that and get $18. Another way of figuring this out would be to do 0.9, because that's what 90% is, times 20. And then I know that is going to be 18. Another way would be to find 10%. And since I want 9 lots of that, I would get 18 that way. So there's three ways of solving that one. Yeah, 15% is 1620. I can do this mentally. I can say 10% is equal to $1.62, and therefore 5% is going to be half of $1.62. And what is that? So it's going to be 50, 80, I think it's 81, yeah, of course, 81 cents, so 0.81. And then I could add those together to get 15%, right? And that's going to give me $2.43, I think. Okay, now another way of doing it is just to type into your calculator 0.15 times 1620 on the calculator. And if we do that, we'll get the same answer, 1620. We're going to get, the calculator will come up with a fraction like 243 over 100 or something like that, but that's $2.43. Another way to do it is on the calculator you can in fact write 15% times 1620. So there are multiple ways of solving these. I'm just going to do one more as an example of a word problem. So we've got a school that contains 1250 students, and we know that 46% are female, and then of the males, which is 54%, the 12% of the males are left-handed, and 8% of the females are left-handed, and we want to know the total number of left-handed students. So 46% females equals 0.46 times 1250, and when we do that, we get 575. Now I'm going to do the males. They must be 54%. So we'll go 0.54 multiplied by 1250, and that gives me 675. Perfect. Now, I want to find the left-handers. So left-hand females equals, there's 8%, so I'm going to go 0.08, that's what 8% is a decimal, times 575, because that's the number of females, and that gives me 0.08 times 575, that's 46. And left-hand males is going to be, now we've got 12% of the males, so 0.12 times, and we've got 675 males, so 675 times 0.12, and I'm getting 81. And so the total number of left-handers is the 81 plus the 46, and that is 127 left-handers. That's just a quick introduction into percentage of a quantity. Now, Now let's move on to writing one quantity as a percentage of another. There are two steps in this. First you write a fraction, write it as a fraction, and then you times it by 100. So I've got 12 students out of 30. I write that as a fraction. That's my first step. And then I'm going to multiply it by 100. Okay, now this is nice and easy. I can cancel 1 0 out from here. And I can go, well, 12 over 3 is equal to 4 over 1. And so I'm going to get 40%. Okay. Now, another way of doing it, if you're struggling with the kind of mental math, you can, of course, do it on your calculator. In IG, you have a calculator in the exam. Number 4, here's a word problem. Una made 12 phone calls that lasted less than 1 minute, 37 calls between 1 minute and 10 minutes, and 6 over 10 minutes. We've got to do percentage of her calls that were less than 1 minute. Well, that's 12, but it's out of how many calls? We've got 12 here, 37 here, and 6 here. So 37 and 12 is 49, 49 and 6 is 55. So I've got 12 over 55, and I'm turning this as a percentage. 12 over 55, and I multiply it by 100, and I'm getting 21.82%, or 21.8% to 3 significant figures. Okay, that's A. B, altogether 12 of her calls lasted longer than 5 minutes. What percentage of her calls lasted between 1 minute and 5 minutes? Now this, you've got to think of it a little bit. So we've got less than 1 minute, we've got 12. We've got greater than 5 minutes, we've also got 12. And we are being asked to figure out the percentage between 1 to 5. Okay, so that will be the 55 minus the 2 lots of 12, which is 24. And so we're going to get 31. Okay, so as a percentage, 31 over 55 times 100 equals 31 over 55 multiplied by 100. And this is giving us 56.4% to 3 significant figures. So that should help you with solving some of these questions in exercise 16.2. Now we're going to move on to the last skill that we need, which is percentage increase or decrease. We're really familiar with these. We've done a lot of this in year 9. So I've got a dishwasher here. It cost $3.20. That's my original price. And it's reduced by 25%, and I've got to calculate the sale price. Now, Nana's way of working this out would be 320 times 0.25. And when we do this, we're going to get $80. Okay. And then you would subtract $80, that's the discount, from your 320. So you get 320 minus 80 is equal to 240. Okay? But there is a quicker way of doing it. If you're reducing the price by 25%, it's now 75% of what it was. So you can simply go 320 times 0.75. Okay, now when you do that, you will get $240. So that's the fast and efficient way of doing these. Next one, a cafe sold 294 cups of coffee on Wednesday. This is a 5% increase on Tuesday's sales. How many cups of coffee did the cafe sell on Tuesday? Now, I hope you were paying attention. This is the one that we always get stuck on. It's a reverse percentage. Tuesday, we're trying to work out Tuesday's costs. And Wednesday's cost is an increase of 5% on Tuesday's sales. So we're timesing by 105% to get 294. Why is it 105%? Well, if we times by 100%, we get the same number again. So if Wednesday sold the same number of cups as Tuesday, it would be times it by 100%, because it'll give you the same answer. That's like timesing by 1. But if you've increased by 5%, it's that 1, the same amount, and on top of that another 5%. So that's why we times by 105%. Now we can rearrange this to find out Tuesday. It's going to be 294 divided by 105. So don't get fooled. These are the ones that tend to fool IG students. That should be 105% by the way. Here should be percent. And that means we had 280 coffee cups sold on Tuesday. Okay, number 5, Elena buys a table for 120. She sells it for 144. Calculate her percentage profit. So percentage profit is equal to our profit divided by our original cost and then times by 100. In this case, the profit is $24. 144 subtract 120. So $24 over her original of 120, and we multiply this by 100. And what do we get? 24 over 120. Could do this mentally, but let's just save a bit of time. We get $20. 20%. The last one, Ayana? I wonder if I was meant to say Elena. I don't know. Pays 24% of her earnings in tax. She saved 25% of what is left after tax. What percentage of her earnings does she save? Well, let's start off. She pays 24% of her earnings in tax. So how much does she get to keep? 100 minus 24 is what she gets to keep. So that is 0.76 is how much of her earnings, or 76% is what she gets to keep. Okay, of that 76%, she saves 25%. What percentage does she save? So it's going to be 76% times 25%. For a quarter of that. 38 and half of 38, it should be 19, I think. 0.25 times 0.76. Yeah, so it'll be 0.19, and we know that 0.19 is 19% of her earnings is what she is saving. Well, there's a little brief introduction to those 3 exercises. I'm only giving you a few from each exercise to do. If you're having trouble, do a few more and contact me so I can help you out a bit further. All right, good luck.